Welcome back to another episode of Carson's Aquatics. Today, we're going to be stocking my indoor turtle pond with fish. In case you missed it, a few videos ago I set up this indoor turtle pond, home to my red-eared slider Sheldon Jr. and this albino red-eared slider who I have yet to name. I'm not set on a name yet. He is going to be one of the bigger pets on this channel, so I want to make sure I really like the name. A couple names I liked that you guys suggested were Leonard, Lemon, which was actually previously the name of this turtle. I'm not sure how much I like that though, so feel free to keep dropping names for our albino red-eared slider. But like I said, we are going to be adding fish to this pond. And fish aren't the only thing we're going to be adding. We are going to be adding in more of this water hyacinth because as you can see, it's actually starting to branch out. You see that? This one's doing it. This one is also doing it. And they're all just growing really, really well. So I am going to bring the rest of the water hyacinth from outside in my pond in here into the turtle pond. I'm not quite sure if water hyacinth can survive the winter. I think it can, but I'm not positive, so I'm just going to bring all of it in here. And my pond is also where we're going to be getting the fish from. Over the summer I stocked that pond with like 20 common guppies. There's now probably at least 1,000 in there. They are literally everywhere. So that's going to be the majority of the fish in this pond. Then there's also some rosy red minnows. Then there's like 10 to 15 mollies, platies, swordtails, fancy guppies. And those nicer quality fish, like the ones I just named, those will be going in the 55 gallon because I don't want them getting eaten. The common guppies I'm fine with getting eaten. It'll be a good source of protein for the turtles. And the only real threat to the common guppies is going to be Junior because our albino red-eared slider is almost completely blind. So there's no way he's going to be able to catch any fish. And then Junior will probably catch some, but not too many. So I'm almost positive that all the common guppies will repopulate in this pond. So over a few months, we'll probably have way more than we even put in here today. But then I'll also be feeding them to the cichlids, probably the angelfish. And I just want to say now, there is absolutely no way I'm going to be able to catch every single fish out of my front yard pond. There's literally over 1,000 of those common guppies. So I'm going to get as many of those as I can. I'm going to spend the rest of the day today catching them, and probably tomorrow as well. I'm gonna try and get all of the mollies, platies, swordtails, fancy guppies out of there, again for the 55. And then there's also a pleco in there. I really hope I find him. I saw him like a month ago, so he should still be in there. And then you're probably wondering about the koi and the goldfish, and those are actually cold water fish, and they're completely capable of surviving the winter even when the water completely freezes over. So I know I just said a lot. That's enough talking for now. Now we're gonna head outside and start catching some fish. Alrighty guys, and here we are out at the pond. And of course, the one day I want to film out here, it starts raining. It literally hasn't rained in St. Louis in like a month. So that sucks, but I'm not gonna let the rain stop me from filming today. But before we do start catching those fish out, I am gonna get all of this water hyacinth out of this pond and into the turtle pond downstairs. It looks like it's gonna fill up most of the turtle pond, which is actually good because most turtles, especially when they're smaller, like being hidden most of the time. So that'll be good. Now let's go ahead and get all these plants out. Alrighty guys, got our bucket full of water hyacinth right here. We're just gonna start throwing it in the turtle pond. Alrighty guys, then there it is. All the water hyacinth is in the turtle pond. And I left that little area over there open. You can see the albino. I left that open because that's gonna be the feeding area. Obviously I have to feed the albino by hand every day, but Sheldon Jr. is already starting to know that this is where the food is. Basically, I just put all the pellets right there. So that area will be open. And I gotta say, I really like how this looks. I would rather have it look super full instead of super empty. And this will also make the turtles a lot more comfortable in here because they'll be hidden all the time. And all these plants will also help filter the water. So that's all good. So now we're gonna head back outside and start catching the fish out of the pond. All right, so it's actually raining a bit too hard for my liking. I know it doesn't really look like it on camera, but it's also 50 degrees out here, so it's kind of chilly. So I'm actually not gonna get the fish out today. I'm just gonna wait until tomorrow to do that. But right now we are gonna head back down and move a few things around in the fish room. Alrighty guys, so basically what I want to do down here is move the 25 gallon as far over this way as we can to right there. And we're gonna have to move the tadpole tank as well. Then after we move the 25 that way, I'm actually gonna move the turtle pond to right there. And the reasons I'm doing this, first of all, is because I used to have huge speakers right here, but I recently got these smaller ones that can fit on the TV stand, and I really just want to fill in this space. It looks kind of empty and uneven over here, so I want to scoot that way and put the turtle pond right there to fill in that space. And also, you guys might have seen this in the background of my last couple of videos. That is my disc wall. A lot of you probably don't know, but one of my major hobbies outside of YouTube and fish keeping is actually disc golf. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's pretty much golf, but with frisbees. And I have a bit of a collection going right here, and I want to be able to expand it this way, but I don't want any of the discs falling into the turtle pond and injuring one of the turtles, so that's another reason we're moving it right over here. Then I eventually might take my beta tank down here and set it up right here. That looks like the perfect space for it. Haven't decided on that yet, but the first thing we got to do is start draining the 25 gallon. And as you can see right there, I have the tank drained to the point where I believe I'll be able to move it. And I also went ahead and moved the tadpole tank to the right of the TV. And by the way, he's not really a tadpole anymore. He's completely grown his arms and legs, and his tail is now starting to shrink. And how cool is that? This guy was born in my 40-gallon tank, and I raised him all the way up to this point. And unfortunately, he is the only one left, but I guess it's just survival of the fittest out here. But yeah, super cool. But now I'm just gonna scoot the 25-gallon over this way. All right, well, now I'm stuck. Perks of being skinny right there. Oh, all right, there we go. That doesn't look too bad. So now that the 25-gallon is moved, we can start worrying about the turtle pond. And the first thing I'm gonna do, even though we just put all this water hyacinth in, we're gonna take all of it out and put it in this bucket. Then we're gonna get the turtles out, and then we can start draining it. Got both of our turtles. They can just stay in this empty 10-gallon tank for now. And now we're gonna start draining this pond. Alrighty guys, and there it is. The turtle pond is all set up over here. I filled it up, and I also filled up the 25-gallon the rest of the way. While adding the new water, I did add in prime water conditioner and this top fin bacteria starter. So these tanks are good to go. Now I'm gonna put the water hyacinth back in the turtle pond. And there we go, the water hyacinth is in. And now I'm gonna give this turtle pond like 15 to 20 minutes just to make sure it gets up to room temperature. Before we put the turtles in, let's check up on the turtles real quick. Oh yeah, I did put 2 water hyacinth in here for them to hide in. And it looks like Junior is doing just that. And then the albino chilling in the corner. And like I said, in just a bit, these 2 are gonna be going back into their turtle pond. Alright guys, it's been about 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and put our turtles back in the pond. We'll go with Junior first, since he seems a bit more freaked out. There you go, buddy. And now the albino. There he goes. I'm just gonna throw these last 2 water hyacinth in there as well. And there we go. And now the last thing to do is just go outside and bring in the fish from the pond and put them in the turtle pond. And it is still raining outside, so I'm not gonna do that tonight. We're just gonna wait for tomorrow to do that. So I'll see you then. Alrighty guys, it is the next day and we are out here at the pond. And as you can see, the pond is pretty full because it did rain almost all night. Today we are going to catch as many of these fish out as we can, not including the koi and goldfish, just all the smaller fish. And you can see a bunch of them right down there. Those brighter colored ones are the rosy red minnows. You can see a couple of the mollies right there, that white one and the spotted one. And you can also see all these common guppies everywhere. We're going to get as many of those as we can. And we're just going to hop right into this because I feel like I'm going to be out here for a while. There's definitely a lot of fish to catch, so let's get started. So we're gonna fill our bucket with some pond water and put that over here, and I'm gonna just use this net to scoop up as many fish as I can. Huge guppy right there, and we got a rosy red. Got another good sized guppy right there, and those big ones are the ones we really want to get because those are gonna breed in the turtle pond. Oh my gosh. Look at the size of this guppy. Absolutely massive. Just got one of the orange mollies or platies. Boom. He'll be going in the 55. Alrighty guys, so as you can see there, we got a pretty good amount of fish. We mainly got rosy red minnows. Then we got a couple of those like colorful mollies, platies. And you probably can't see it. I'll zoom in on it. Oh yeah, you can see it. That right there is a baby orange molly, which means that my more fancy mollies, like the colorful ones, had babies of their own. I saw a couple more in the pond. I wasn't able to get them yet. But yeah, super, super cool. And as you can tell, I was using this net, which the holes in this net are pretty big. So all the smaller guppies and stuff could fit right through this net. So I was only able to get the pretty good sized ones. But what I am gonna do is bring these guys inside right now, put them in the turtle pond, and then put those like 2 fancier ones in the 55. Then I'll come back out here and catch some more, and I'll bring a net with smaller holes so we can get a bunch of those tiny, tiny guppies. But let's bring these guys inside. Alrighty guys, we are back down here in the fish room, and what I just went ahead and did was I scooped out all the fancy mollies and platies and stuff and put them in this pitcher. I have 3 of them in there right now, including the baby, and I'm gonna acclimate these guys to their new tanks. How I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna get a scoop of turtle pond water. I'm gonna dump that on in here, and I'm gonna get a scoop of 55-gallon tank water and put that on in there. And I'll do that again in a couple more minutes, and then probably one more time a few minutes after that, and then these guys will be ready to go.
A few moments later.
Alrighty guys, over the past 10 minutes I put a few more scoops into both of our buckets, and I actually also went ahead and put that baby orange molly into our frog tank. Well, our baby frog slash tadpole tank. You can see them in the corner back there. These two will get along just fine. They're both peaceful, at least at this age. And I put the orange baby in here because if I put him in the community tank, the Buenos Aires tetras would definitely go after him. The rainbow fish would, the Colombian tetra. Even though these are community fish, I have seen them target smaller fish that I put with them. So we're just gonna let this guy get a bit bigger, and then he can join everyone in the 55. As for these guys, they are ready to go. So I'm gonna take them and I'm just gonna dump them straight in. And there they go. We got the orange and black guy right there. I believe that is a platy. And then the all white one right there. He also looks to be a platy, but I'm not 100% sure. And you can see one of the Buenos Aires tetras kind of giving him trouble right now. And that's nothing I haven't seen before. He should leave him alone very, very soon. Looks like he already is. He was just checking him out, seeing who this new guy in the tank is. And now for these guys who are going in the turtle pond, we've got mainly rosy red minnows. We've got a giant guppy right there, and then some smaller guppies. And we're just gonna dump them straight in as well. Here they all go. Boom. Oh wow, they look awesome in there. Oh, there's some back there. Oh, look at that. That's so cool. There's our albino right down there. What's up, buddy? So now we're gonna head back out to the pond and try and catch as many more of the fish as we can tonight. I'm gonna bring out this net, which has much smaller holes, so we should be able to catch those smaller guppies. And there's literally hundreds of those. The real tiny ones are the ones we have the most of, so this should do the trick. I'm just gonna set up a time lapse out there and catch as many as I can over the next like half an hour, 45 minutes. Then I'll catch back up with you guys, see what we got, and put them in the turtle pond and the 55 if we have to. So let's do it. Alrighty guys, so I just got a bunch more fish out of the pond. I went pretty much until I couldn't see anymore, and here's what I got. I got a ton of those common guppies. Literally, that's gotta be like 100, 150 right there. Then we got one more of those rosy red minnows. And then I already went ahead and separated the fancier ones. That is a Dalmatian molly. And then that is one of the fancy guppies we got. So I'm gonna do the same acclimation technique as I did earlier. So I'll get back to you in like 10 or 15 minutes. Alrighty, and these guys are acclimated and ready to go in their tank. So again, we're just gonna dump these guys straight in, and there they go. There's our fancy guppy right back there, and our Dalmatian molly. Does not look like the Buenos Aires tetras are giving either of them a hard time, which is good. And that is all the fish that are gonna be added to the 55 for now. Over the next few days, I am gonna try and get some more fish out of the pond, and I'll talk more about that in just a sec. But right now, we're gonna get these fish into the turtle pond. And there they all go. And there it is. Everyone is in. Oh, look at them. They're everywhere. They are literally everywhere. That is so cool. It's going to add a lot of action to this pond. And now, like I just mentioned, over the next few days, I am going to go back out to the pond and try and catch the rest of the fish, at least what I can. There's no way I'm going to be able to catch every single fish out of that pond. But there are still some more mollies, platies, fancy guppies. There's still a pleco in there that I would like to get out. If you guys remember from a while back, I did put a crawfish in the pond, and I really hope he's just hiding. But in all honesty, I have not seen him since like the week that I put him in there. So he probably just straight up walked out of the pond looking for another body of water. But hey, I could be wrong. He could still be in there and just been hiding for the last 4 or 5 months. So I'll try and get as many more fish out as I can, and I'll just update you guys on that in future videos. Like if I find the pleco, if I do find the crawfish, I'll let you guys know. And a few things I want to say about the fish in this pond. It is mainly those common guppies, and I'm hoping that they'll be able to repopulate faster than they get eaten. And I'm like almost positive they will, because the albino turtle is almost completely blind, so he can't really see, so he's probably not going to eat any of the guppies. And Sheldon Jr. might catch like 1 or 2 of them a day, so they should be able to keep up their population. And having all these plants in this pond is definitely going to help that cause, because if you take a look, there's just a bunch of roots in here that all the babies can hide in. Even the adults can probably hide in that. So I can almost guarantee we're just going to see this guppy population take off in these next couple months. That is going to wrap up this video, and today's comment of the day goes out to Gabby Cantu. Notification squad, always happy to see your videos. Thank you, Gabby. I appreciate that. And if you want your comment to be the comment of the day in the next video, all you got to do is drop a comment down below, and that could happen. And if you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. All you gotta do is drop a comment. Drop my phone.